He is in prison because since the last presidential election in Iran, June 2009, and the commencement of the so-called Green Movement, he has been very active supporter of the Green Movement. And he has appeared every international film festival and so forth to which he was invited as a member of the jury, sporting a green, not red, a green shawl and so forth. So very active supporter of the Green Movement. And then he was arrested, charged by trying to make a film while in his home with a number of his friends and camera crews and such, trying to make a film about the Green Movement. He was arrested. And he subsequently, in a statement that he issued, he said, I have not made a movie yet. I was about to make a movie. You can't prosecute a person for a crime that he has not yet committed. And then he was jailed for a while, and he lost tremendous weight. And when he came out, it turned out that they were even afraid that while he was in jail, he was trying to make a movie about jail. And they summoned him and they asked him, so are you making a film about movies? So with what camera? I don't have anything. So maybe on your mind you're making a movie. So there's a fantastic, actually, cartoon of Panahi sitting inside his solitary confinement with a projector from one wall to another wall, imagining the film that he's making. So he's charged with trying to make a film subverting national security. This is the official charge. And he has been sentenced to 6 years of prison. But the term of the prison in Persian is called habs-e ta'ziri, which is in the discretion of the judge. Is he actually physically in jail or not physically in jail? He can be in and out. In addition to 20 years of banned from making any film or appearing in any film festival or doing any interview with the Iranian press or international press. But the miracle of new media is that he has a Facebook page, and through his Facebook page he communicates, he constantly posts events that are happening. For example, last month there was, during the Berlin Film Festival, he was supposed to be a member of the jury in Berlin Film Festival, and they had an empty chair for him with his name on it. So in fact, despite the fact that he can't be outside Iran, he is very much outside. This very event that, thanks to Asia Society and Law, we have organized, he has posted on his Facebook, and people know about. Now, as to what we can do, again, excellent question. We as citizens, ordinary citizens of the United States, there is tremendous that we can do. Filmmakers, film critics, ordinary citizens, Hollywood, New York Film Festival, any civil society organization that is interested in cinema, in art, can publicly express outrage. International campaign for human rights led by capable hands of Hadi Qaemi is the conduit of expressions of such outrage. And he's very optimistic, everybody is optimistic, that such expressions of solidarity with him as a filmmaker, as an artist, will be effective and are effective, but not governmental interference. I'm not looking for Secretary of State Clinton to make any statement. They don't have credibility.
And just to add that Panahi is actually quite active on Facebook, and you can become his friends.
Yeah, very good.
Can I just repeat the question? It's about the hurdles in terms of politically and financially making a film in Iran today.
There are about 70 to 80 films that are made in Iran annually. It's one of the highest productions of cinema around the globe. For you to compare it, for example, in Syria, there are only one film per year that are produced. Doesn't mean that there are no great Syrian filmmakers, just production is low. But of those 70 to 80 films, about half are propaganda films made by the government and lavishly funded. The other half are from private sector and are mostly melodrama and films that sell widely. The other are, so far as funding is concerned, is partially private sector and partially outside funding, especially for a filmmaker like Jafar Panahi. He doesn't have problem finding funding from Europe or Japan or Korea and so forth. Politically, the hurdles are absolutely tremendous. That is, every stage you have to submit a script to various ministries to get permission, and even after you have official permission, it doesn't mean when you have done your film it will actually be released. And if you have a shot, for example, in front of Asia Society, then you have to submit the whole script to Asia Society. I'm using just as an example, I don't know, to get permission for that, from that shot. And then when the entire film is actually produced, then still doesn't mean that you actually have permission to show. This was not permitted to be screened in Iran. It was premiered in Cannes and was considered to be too dark. Now, but being banned in Iran doesn't mean people have not seen it, okay? In fact, the best advertisement for a film is to be banned. Then people are eager to watch it. So the hurdles are tremendous. In one interview, Panahi, for example, said that by the time that I actually stand behind my DP and I say action, 90% of my energy has been wasted on the peripheries of filmmaking that has absolutely nothing to do with the filmmaking. And I only make my film with the 10% of my patience and energy and perseverance that is left in me when I say action. Nevertheless, the fact is that this just past February, the Iranian film that was featured in Berlin Film Festival won the top 3 prizes. I'm not celebrating censorship. I'm not Dostoevskian in pain and suffering is the cause of great art. But that is the circumstances in which Iranian filmmakers continue to make and produce great films. Good cinema, not only in Iran, historically, doesn't come despite bad circumstances, but because of good circumstances. If you look at, for example, Italian neorealism that you just said, where does Italian neorealism come? It's a post-war anxiety in the aftermath of Cinecittà being captured by Mussolini and so forth. Camera is taken out, wars, pains, etc. That creates Italian neorealism. German New Wave, when did that German New Wave come? Post-Holocaust anxiety of German filmmakers trying to come up with the horrors of Holocaust. French New Wave in the post-Algerian, the colonial, trying to come to terms with their colonial past. Cuban cinema. Iranian cinema is, as all of these cinemas, national cinemas, in my judgment, are predicated on national trauma. Iranians had filmmakers long before the revolution and the war, great filmmakers before the revolution and the war. But the revolution and the war becomes a national trauma that generates great cinema. Now, censorship exists, arrests, all of that, etc. But nevertheless, the creativity, the creative effervescence that comes from these wars and revolutions and pains and aspirations betrayed, etc., is so powerful that great works of art come out.